What is up, everyone? It is Saturday night. That means it's time for the comic show. This is show number 7. So once again, got a lot of books this week. Just went today, picked up a lot of books, and looking forward to showing you guys what all I got. So I kind of get started here, and we'll kind of talk about them a little bit as we go through. So this is Prince Namor the Submariner number 2. So I got this today. Really good, really nice book. It's a fine plus. It's really good, really solid. And then I got, so this is The Thing number 32. So this is part of his solo series. I just purchased a couple nights ago. I found someone selling issue 1 to 31, 33, 34, 35 for super cheap plus free shipping, like $70. So I hopped on those. So I basically now am one short of having the entire run of The Thing in basically 2 days. So obviously when they get there, I'll show them off. 35 is the first appearance of the Power Broker, which if you watched Falcon and the Winter Soldier this week, you know that is become a key issue because the Power Broker was mentioned in that episode when they were trying to flee. The Flag Smashers were trying to flee with the vaccines. The one gets a text message from someone and basically says you've been compromised, they're on their way, and that's when the name's mentioned, the Power Broker. His first is Curtis Jackson. His first actual appearance is in Machine Man 7. He wasn't called the Power Broker then. I actually just bought that issue, so I got that issue coming too. I always try to, if I can jump on them as fast as I can, because, normally by a couple days, the book's going to start to go up because more people are watching it going, oh man, the Power Broker, oh, I want to get this character, like the first issue of this one. So look for those. I'll probably, those should be in next week's episode. I'm assuming that they're going to get shipped out probably, so I bought them Thursday night, I believe, so they'll probably get shipped out Friday or today, and then I should get them sometime middle of next week. So middle of the week next week, I should say. So this is a little run I found at one of my local stores here. These were all $1. This is a pretty good run of Alpha Flight. I've only got a couple of these books, so I found a whole bunch of them for cheap. This one's kind of folded a little bit, but I'll fix it. So this is Alpha 12. So these were all $1. Of course, Alpha Flight, can't say it, tongue-tied. They're all pretty cheap books anyways. There's 24. None of them are bagged or boarded. Can't talk tonight. There's number 28. As if the Beyonder wasn't bad enough, guess who just dropped in? And it's Hulk back there in the background. And then 31. Neat cover. 36. 37. I don't really know much about Alpha Flight. I never really read those issues growing up. I know it's an all-Canadian team, if I remember right. Here's number 39. It's got Cap on the front. And Hercules is on there too. I know Puck is one of them. This is like I think he's one of the main ones. Like I said, I really don't know much about this book. Number 40. That's that same cover that they did, the 86 cover that was the 25th anniversary, where they ran that through Avengers and West Coast Avengers, and basically all the books had this where one character was featured in the middle, and then you had this border with a bunch of the other characters. 43. People probably watching this, how do you not know about Alpha Flight? I just really don't. I just didn't read them. 48. 52. So it's, really good run. 56. And there's probably 15, 20 books here. And then 110. You see the top kind of This, I believe, is what number 1, the lettering kind of looks like for that. And there's a Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. I remember that movie. So that's what the lettering looked like on number 1, and then they switched to kind of that more kind of rounded off lettering. And then the last one, number 120, this one actually came bagged. I believe this has some sort of card in it. Superpowers Registration Act poster inside. It's a poster. Yeah, so this was a 93. This is Avengers symbol, A30, 30 years. Yeah, so it's got the Canadian flag all over the bag, so it kind of closes. You can't really see the cover. And then in the back, there's the poster in the back. So that's it for Alpha Flight. So, I mean, there's, 10, 15 books there. It's a pretty good little run. And then we got a little short run here of Excalibur. Another book I never read growing up. I really don't know much about them. I know Captain Britain's in this one. Nightcrawler. This is number 1. Like I said, I really don't know much about them either. And then number 3. And then number 6. So that's kind of what I would kind of consider the more random books. Not really random, but not really the runs that I've been talking about working on. So we'll go through the Avengers books I got this week first. So there's a handful of them here, not a whole lot. So like I said before, this is kind of the first. This is kind of the next series that I'm going to be working on. I said last week that I now have all the Captain Americas, which I technically own the Captain Americas, but USPS has decided to send 109 all over the globe, it seems like, or at least all over Texas, and to here and there and everywhere. And so it's well beyond like 3 or 4 days late. I should have had it this week, and I don't. So I'm kind of ticked off about that, but what are you going to do? Not much I can do about it. So let's go run through the Avengers here. So this is Avengers 20. This is a decent looking book. Obviously, I've talked about it before. When you kind of get in that first 20 or 30 Avengers copies, if you can get a good, not just a solid copy that doesn't really have a lot of deficiencies to it, it's going to be a good book. The only kind of first thing you kind of see is someone stamped it July 7th. Other than that, it's a really, really nice book. Then we got Avengers 24. Kind of a neat cover there with Cap and Scarlet and Quicksilver and Hawkeye. Just taking on from the ashes of defeat. Kind of got that nice Kirby-esque type look to it. I don't think it's Kirby though. I think it's it might have been Don Heck drawing at that time. I'm not sure. I have to go back and look at that. Here's 105. The Beast Brood. It's a really cool cover. A lot going on this cover. Then we got 107. Then with the Grim Reaper. These were always weird stories with him. Him and Vision. Like there's that one issue where he talks about, or on the cover, Grim Reaper's like, he's like got a body and like some sort of like casket looking thing, and he's like, this body can be yours, Vision. All you got to do is kill the Avengers. Because he was Power Man's half brother, I think. So there's just kind of always, those are always kind of some weird stories. Then we got 202. And then 204. And then I found these were $1. These were way up there. It says 380 with the High Evolutionary on there. And then 384. Oh man, then they had I just now saw this. They had an ad for the Spider-Man video game on the back. Shocker, Mysterio, Spider Slayer, Owl, Jack-O-Lantern, Beetle, Rhino, Vulture. That's pretty cool. Played that game a lot. I bet it's on the back of... No, it's not on the back of that. I figured it would be because this is... what number is this? 391. I guess that was 7 issues after. So that's 391. So, pretty high up. I think Avengers goes to 402, I believe, is where it stops. So that's a couple issues that are pretty high up there. So that's it for Avengers. Now we go to Cap. Like I said, I'm not going to have a lot of Cap books because I'm dwindling down to basically the only one left is 109. And I would have it today if USPS wasn't, I don't know. So this is 118. This is actually second Falcon. This book's not in the best of shape, but it's got a couple looks like a couple water stains here on the front. Nothing major, just looks like someone just dropped had a couple drops of water on it at one time. So it's a pretty good book. 118, and then this is 364 with Crossbones. Cap trap. He's trapped in what looks to be some sort of like a bear trap. And then this is 365, him and the Submariner. And then 372, City on Ice. This is part of that Streets of Poison storyline I had talked about last week that I haven't read. And then this is 373, the Black Widow versus Diamondback. So then this was her more upgraded suit because they'd made her, she had the all black suit, and then they started drawing all gray. What's going on with me tonight? I can't talk. And then this is 383. This is the triple-sized 50th anniversary issue. It's a pretty good sized book here. It's a nice cover. Jim Lee cover, so Jim Lee's tough to beat, in my opinion. Okay, so then we're gonna go over. Started picking up a few other books of a couple different titles here. I got a bunch. So this is Spider-Woman, Volume 1. And starting off, this was in 1978. So just starting off right here with number 1. Nice, real nice cover. Very good defined cover. That's how it was graded. So kind of background, Jessica Drew kind of gets radiation poisoning, and then her father injects her with spider venom to counteract that, and born is Jessica Drew. And she actually was a villain when they first brought her out in Marvel Spotlight 15, I think it was. She was actually sent by Hydra to take out Nick Fury. And that had only happened in one issue, and then they went straight to number 1 in her own magazine. And they made her a hero instead of a villain. And then this was a nice little run I picked up today. So this is number 2. Really like the drawing, like the cover on this. And then that was first Bronze Age appearance of Morgan Le Fay. And then number 3, this is the first appearance of Brothers Grimm. It's a good little cover there. And then number 4, first appearance of Turner D. Century. So there was if you've ever watched, and I've noticed that, I didn't really notice that a lot in some of the other books, but I started to notice it in the Spider-Woman book. There was a documentary done a couple years ago on Wonder Woman. I can't even remember the dude's name. It's Marston is William something Marston something. I can't even remember his name. But there was kind of this time in comics where, especially with Wonder Woman, where they drew her more as a damsel in distress, tied up, things like that, and it was just kind of grown men drawing women comics. That was kind of the thing, and I didn't really notice it with Marvel that much till I started looking at the Spider-Woman covers, and there's a few of them in here that are like that. That one was one. You could see she was kind of tied up a little bit there. This is number 5. So she's in more of a spider web there. But then you go to number 6. She's tied up to a chair. Number 7. She's breaking out of a door. So not quite, but kind of similar. Number 8, she's chained. And I've got a whole bunch of first volume Wonder Woman comics of a run that's probably around this time in the 70s. And it's like every single one of them that she's tied up, she's chained. And I didn't really know that until I watched that documentary and it started talking about it. And I guess he was like a big proponent of that or something, and it was a little weird, but it was probably like a fetish thing with that guy. It was just weird, and I think it started to catch on into other comics. And then this is number 10, so I think there's a few more where she is, but they kind of started to weed it out a little bit. And then number 12. Number 13. And it's kind of along those lines a little bit, but you can see, whoever this guy, I'm not sure who this is. He's shot this kind of like sound wave weapon, and then now she is like taken back from it. And you can see, we go back a couple, like to the door, the one where she busts through the door. It's kind of all goes along those lines. And then 25, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, one Spider-Woman will have to go. Again, guns pointed. It's just, I don't know exactly what the deal was with that, but that was, I guess Marvel decided to jump on that train too with this book. Number 40, she's crashed through a window. And the Flying Tiger, that's who this is. He's basically pushed her through the window, and he's basically just take her out to the ground, I guess. And then number 45, I think this was like a Halloween episode or issue. Because Spider-Man's on here and he's got a bunch of candy, it looks like. It's kind of a funny cover. So that's it for the Spider-Woman. So that's, I've got quite a few of those now. I picked up a lot today. So that's another just kind of little side book. I think they go to like 1 to 50, so it's a smaller run. And so it's not like, like your Avengers run goes to 402, stuff like that. So it's a smaller run. So I'll work on those as we go along. Okay, so the next 3 books are from Savage SheHulk, and I got 3 here. I showed you number 1 a couple weeks ago, so this is number 2, and have this one that's got a little kind of fraying up there. Probably looks like it might go a couple pages deep, but other than that, the cover, other than that little spot right there, the cover's not bad. And then I like this cover. This is number 6. Enter Iron Man, and then you got Iron Man there, and you can see her in the reflection of his helmet. That's pretty cool. Another solid book. And then number 12, Double Jeopardy with Gemini. pretty good book. Nice cover. Solid book. So that's all for Savage, She-Hulk. And then, let's see. Yeah, we got 2 more titles left. So then I also picked up quite a few, about 10 books of the Sensational Sheet-Hulk. I've got quite a few of these issues already. So this book's almost complete. I probably got maybe 15 books left, and it goes to 60. So here's number 13. So she was really one of the first characters that realized she was in a comic book. There's a good documentary that Sci-Fi did, or they were doing at one time, on comic book creators, and John Byrne was one of them. And of course he drew, I think, most of these issues. I don't know the number, but he drew and wrote most of them. And when they put him on the book, the editor was, we want you to do something different with it, come up with some ideas. And he had said that he was riding home on the subway, and he just said, she knows she's in a comic book. She knows. So you can see that a lot in a lot of these covers, and just the story themselves. She's talking to the reader. She's talking to him. The editor pops up. All different stuff. She breaking through panels, stuff like that. And so here's 17. And this was pre-Deadpool. I believe it was pre-Deadpool at least. Here is 19. The first appearance of Nosferatu, the She-Bat. It's a good cover. And then we go, and again, she didn't have that many of these type of covers, but they did at least, pay, I guess you could say, pay homage to that if you wanted to. This is number 20. So she's all tied up, hooked to a chain, it looks like. I'm not sure Byrne drew this. Usually he writes it on the side. Doesn't look like it though. So this is probably just, because I think he drew the first 15 books, and then it went to somebody else or something like that. And they kind of took turns. A lot of times you can tell because he had a very distinct style. This is 24. Guest starring Death's hero and a host of inevitably unconscious villains. It's mine. Saw it first, yes. So that's 24? Yeah, 24. And then this is number 29. Spider-Man is in this one, or at least on the cover. And he's kind of webbed her up a little bit. He's like, oops. So that's 29. Again, these are all in really good shape. So then Byrne comes back on 31, and this is kind of where he started to take it kind of to the next level a little bit. And this is kind of a cool cover. She's picked him up and kind of taken him off. He tried to change the comics code, the little header here, and he was gonna put a 9 instead of the 31, because I believe he drew the first 8 is what it was. And so he was switching back. Put your ego back in its box, John. I'm already letting you get away with more than I probably should on the inside. And she's kind of picked him up and carrying him off. So this is 35. Rise My Exhumed. Hey, wouldn't this cover have worked better last issue? So you can kind of see how he kind of plays it off a little bit, that she kind of knows what's going on. This was the special holiday issue, 36. So it's basically just a bubble with an answer machine, basically her saying can't come to the cover right now because her and Wheezy are off on vacation. They are on their way to California to spend the holidays with her dad. Leave a message at the sound of the beep, and I'll get back to you next issue. Thanks. You can kind of see how they kind of played with that a little bit. Good stuff. Really do like this this run. I mean, I like Byrne. I like John Byrne's stuff. It's really good. It's pretty solid. His Galactus run on Fantastic Four is really good. 46. I like this cover. The puzzle pieces. And then the last one is 49. So there's a couple really popular issues in there, and I already had them. I may break them out next time if I pick up some more SheHulk. The Demi Moore cover, and then the jump rope cover. Those are kind of the two. The jump rope cover actually has gone way up in value in the last few months. I bought that years ago for like next to nothing, and it's gone way up in value. All right, so last series for tonight, I believe, yes, is Master of Kung Fu, The Hands of ShangChi. This is number 17. Just got this in today. Really solid book. So he started in Special Marvel Edition on issue 15. He ran 15, 16, and then they jumped and gave him his own mag, so it starts at 17. So this is actually the first issue of his own magazine. It's over right there. 17. So that's kind of where it starts. So I showed you 16 a couple weeks ago. I got that at the Collecticon. I actually just purchased 15 this week. It's not a great cover, but I mean, again, it's first ShangChi. It's pretty solid, so I'm excited to get that in and show you guys that one and just continue getting this run. I mean, this is a good run. So this is number 22. Someone colored in the F there. I don't know why people do that, or why people did that, but they do that. Not a great book, but again, not a book to where I'm like, oh man. And I just realized too, they colored in the guy's teeth right there. Yeah, not a great book, but then again, I talk about it all the time. It's kind of that filler issue. So, you know, I'm not happy. I saw the F. I didn't see the color on the teeth though when I got it. It was only $2. I didn't think much of it. But again, who knows? I may find a better issue and then get rid of that one. So here is this is number 30. And then this is number 34. So there was a bunch of talk this week since they moved the Black Widow movie back again to July, which was Shang-Chi's spot, that we should start seeing a Shang-Chi trailer. I just don't think that's going to happen. I know Marvel does it, 5 to 6 months. They kind of give you that teaser. But here we are at 1st of April. So we'll just say April. So April, May, June, July. So we were 4 months away from that movie. And we don't have a teaser trailer. We don't have a trailer. We don't have nothing. We don't have a poster. Marvel, I just think right now they're just they want to get stuff back in theaters. They want to get us back in the theaters. They want that revenue. They want that profit to get off these movies. They don't want to be releasing them on Disney Plus and doing the premium thing. I wish they would, but it's very evident now they don't want to do that. I thought Black Widow would get released in May. I thought that they would just go ahead and do it since you're seeing more and more theaters seeing releases to theater now and getting theaters back open. Maybe not at full capacity, but they're getting back open. But if we didn't get a trailer by now for Shang-Chi, we're not going to get one anytime soon. I mean, they moved it back to September. We don't know what things are going to happen in July. We could be in the exact same situation we're in right now in July. So they might take Black Widow and move it to September and then move Shang-Chi, say, to November, and then Eternals to December, and then, or who knows, they may move Eternals to next year and keep Spidey in the December slot since that's more of a Sony thing. We don't know yet. So I wouldn't expect to see, and I could be wrong, but I don't expect to see anything Shang-Chi related until probably first part of summer, probably June, July. I'd say once we know for sure that Black Widow is going to get released at the right time, when it's now on July 9th, then they'll release the other stuff. And I said this the other day. I was talking to someone about it. I'm like, why are we sitting here talking about Eternals or Shang-Chi or Spider-Man when we can't even get Black Widow released? We don't know when it's going to get released. We can't get it released. We can't get it in the theaters. So why do we care what happens with the other ones? Because if we're not getting Black Widow, we're not getting the other ones. You know, the Disney Plus shows are completely different because they were made specifically for Disney Plus, so they can continue on with those. To, I guess, until a point to where the timeline starts to be like, okay, we need this movie to come out, so now we can continue to push the timeline forward. Because you look at it, a Black Widow set between Civil War and Infinity War, from what we know. We don't really know where Shang-Chi falls on the timeline yet. I'm going to assume that it's present day. And then Eternals is set present day, but it's also set long time ago in the past. So they're going to have, supposedly from what I've heard, it's kind of two different things going. So as long as the shows don't affect that, then they'll keep pushing those movies back and let the shows catch up, or whatever it may be. I thought that they kind of needed WandaVision to lead into Doctor Strange and Loki, but I mean they still do. But we're gonna be a full year in between at least WandaVision and Doctor Strange. Loki comes out in June, so not quite a full year, but pretty close. 8-9 months, whatever. So I don't expect to see anything on Shang-Chi at least until probably end of June, maybe first part of July. And once they know for sure, hey, okay, we're back. Black Widow's released in theaters. Theaters are at 75% capacity. Whatever it may be, we're going to go ahead and release it. Then they'll start showing more stuff. I don't see it happening because I don't think they really know right now what exactly is going to happen. Just like the rest of us. So that was my little rant. So here we go back to this is 35, and then we got 39. And then 43. Then 45. So I got all these for like $5 or less. 46. I like this cover. 47. 49. And the last book for tonight, 50. So that's it. As you can see, I got quite a few books. Quite a few Master of Kung Fu too. So that's good. I only had a few issues of that, so I'm trying to catch up on those as well. So thank you for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and then hit the little bell for notifications, and we appreciate it. And we are still trying to get our way to 100 subscribers. So Crystal's going to do a video too. Of course, she does her unboxings. And please subscribe. We're still trying to get to 100. And I hope everyone has a great Saturday night. I hope everyone has a great rest of the weekend. And we will see you next week on the Comic Show. Thanks.